Hello you guys, it's your girl Adrian from Rain's Fango channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. We are officially going to be starting the Degrassi season 14 reviews. I watched episodes 1 and 2 not too long ago, so let's go ahead and review them. Let's get this season up and out of the way. I wrote down most of my favorite episodes that I liked in this season. I am not reviewing 22, 28 fucking episodes they had this season. We're only reviewing the episodes I really like, episodes I go back and watch that I like, that are my favorite episodes from the season, and then we're done, and then it's on to the Degrassi next class, and then that's it. I don't know what else I would have, what else I would want to do for this channel. I have to think of something because the Degrassi next class was pretty much the one thing that was keeping this channel going. So, you know, I gotta think of something I want to do besides Degrassi. But once I cross that road, once I cross that bridge, we're going to get there. As for today, we're going to be reviewing Degrassi Season 14. We're going to be doing episode reviews. We're going to be doing episode 1 and episode 2. Episode 1 being called Smells Like Teen Spirit. Episode 2 being called Wise Up. Now, I actually enjoyed the premiere for Season 14. I ranked it high in my season premiere list because I thought this first episode had a little bit of everything. It had drama. It had everything. And mostly it showed my favorite character, so I was okay with that. Like, they gave more to Zoe, they were giving, you know, more to Miles. So let's talk about what I like and what I don't like from the premiere. So the episode opens up for season 14, episode 1, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Them showing what's going to happen in Firestarter Part 1 and Part 2, which are episodes 11 and 12. And then once they showed a little sneak peek what's going to happen in Firestarter Part 1 and Part 2, it goes back to 10 weeks earlier. So they're kind of building up once they get to Firestarter Part 1 and Part 2, okay? So it opens up, Becky is, you know, trying to hold tryouts for Power Chair. She asked Drew, where is Frankie Hollingsworth? He said, who's Frankie? I'm thinking, like, first of all, that makes no sense because he just spent the last season of season 13 doing nothing but campaign work for Miles' father. So how the fuck does he not know who Frankie is? I mean, I get it. Seniors don't really cross paths with freshmen. But it's like at the same time, you did work for her dad, so you know who the fuck his children is. You know who Miles is. You know who Hunter is. You know who Frankie is. Don't piss me off. And, you know, Zoe and Tristan walk up. They're actually coming back from spring break, by the way. Zoe walks up. She said she wanted to try out. She took the flyer, and you know, Becky had this look on her face that I didn't like. I don't like Becky at all in this episode. Like, Becky is not a girl's girl. I don't give a fuck with them. She's not a girl's girl. They showed that she was in season 13, but then in season 14, she is absolutely not that at all. She is not a fucking girl's girl. Because if she was, the shit she said to Zoe, she would not have said the shit that she said. Zoe wants to try out for Power Chair, but Becky's going to tell Drew she doesn't want Becky. Becky tells Drew she doesn't want Zoe on the team, because if she's on the team, she's going to be reminded of all the hard shit she had to go through last semester, and she just don't want to have to go through it by seeing Zoe's face on the team every day. So Drew said, then don't put her on the team. That pissed me off because it's like, Drew, it's like you have to pay attention to what she's saying. She's basically trying to say the shit that Zoe carries, her sexual assault that Becky's brother did, is baggage. Like, you know what, I don't want her on the team because she kind of carries, like, this baggage for her, you know, her sexual assault. And it's like, it's going to do nothing but bring the team down, the energy down. It's like, girl, for you to even feel comfortable saying some shit like that out of your mouth when your brother was the one who caused that girl all that pain and turmoil, bitch, you deserve to be slapped. If I was Zoe, me and Becky we would have to run it. Because it's like, yo, for real, you're the one who went to police, you're the one who told on your brother. You're the one who turned him into the police. You're the one who returned all the videos and photos in of Zoe. You're the one who stood on the stand and told everyone in the courtroom that your brother basically told you Zoe never consented. Just to turn around in this season and just say, you know what, her baggage does nothing but bring the energy down for the entire school. It's like, whoa! It's like kind of crazy to me. Bitch said that to me, bitch getting slapped. Period. It would have been a fight on the first day of spring break. Don't give a fuck. One thing I do not like in this season is this whole pregnancy storyline. I could have done without this. This pregnancy storyline don't get me wrong, to happen in the first episode, I'm going to let it slide because it's the very first episode. So your very first episode for any season, you want it to be big. You want to do something to keep the fans to come back to watch the season, right? So, of course, when they did the pregnancy storyline season 14, they did that because they wanted the fans to come back and watch the season. But the pregnancy storyline to me was just so convoluted because it ruined all three characters. It ruined Claire, it ruined Eli, it ruined Drew. Drew was literally used as a plot device. You know, he's walking around thinking that Claire is avoiding him because of what happened between them last semester and that she doesn't want to see him and Becky, you know, being a couple and all the PDA shit. She's trying to set up an appointment to have an abortion. She told Ellie that she might be pregnant with Drew's baby, but she wants to know for sure when she goes to the hospital and get one test and see how many weeks she is exactly. When her and Drew had a conversation, he asked her what the fuck is her problem. He didn't say it like that, but I'm gonna say it like that. Basically asking her what the fuck is her deal. She then came back and just got this big ass attitude he did something to her. And he said, you know, if it's the Becky thing, they've been trying to keep their PDA down a little bit around her. And she said she could care less who he with or who he kiss. I know that's right, girl. We don't give a fuck. If you ain't mine, I can care less what you do or who you doing it with. Don't give a fuck who you get down and dirty with because it ain't with me. And, you know, in the midst of all that, she told Drew that she just hate him because he got her pregnant. And he said that can't be possible because they use a condom. And he told Claire, what is he supposed to do? How is he supposed to tell Becky and his mom? And she told Drew he doesn't have to tell nobody nothing because she's taking care of it. And he told her that she has a plan and asked her if there's anything that he can do. And she said she just wants she wants him to keep her being pregnant a secret. So let's get to the one thing in this episode I really did like, which is the Miles shit with his dad. I absolutely love Miles in this episode. This was his season. I don't give a fuck. The Hollingsworths ate this season up. Specifically Miles and Frankie, not necessarily Hunter. Hunter get his spotlight in that class, but Frankie and Miles this season, I absolutely love them. They really, Miles already grew on me in last season, but Frankie definitely grew on me in this season. But it kind of sucks to see how she grew on me in the next class. They just really fumbled her character. And we're going to get there when we get there. As for this season, okay, so Miles and Tristan are secretly dating. You know, Maya doesn't know. Nobody knows. Not even Zoe. Zoe doesn't even know that Tristan is fooling around with Miles. When they're kissing, Tristan stopped him and asked him that he wanted to make sure that all this kissing and sticking around has nothing to do with Maya. And Miles said that he doesn't care about Maya's opinion, that they're done and over with. And then Tristan asked him, what about your dad? And he said, you really know how to be a mood breaker. And he said he's serious, that, you know, he just want to make sure everything is cool at home. And Miles said that everything is better at home, even more better. He is agreeing to do more interviews and stuff for his dad and help more with the campaign. And they actually have a family photo shoot interview. And Tristan asked him, when is this supposed to be? And he said, 15 minutes from now. I'm late as fuck. I got to get out of here. So Miles is running home to get to the family photo shoot. But in the midst of all that conversation, it's funny to me that this is the second time Tristan is asking Miles that all this kissing is not to get back at Maya, not to hurt her, not to make her jealous. It's crazy that that's the second time he said it, because he said that in season 13 in Thunderstruck. He asked him, is all this kissing, what's that to get back at Maya? Then he asked him again. And it's so funny to me that he asked him because literally a couple episodes later, Miles falls right back in love with Maya after he just said it had nothing to do with her. Ain't that funny? But we're going to get there when we get there because, y'all, I was watching those episodes yesterday when Maya fell back in love, or when Maya and Miles was, having episodes together. They were so fucking good. So good, y'all. But, you know, Miles is home, and, you know, they all on his ass about being late and da-da-da and shit. His dad is asking Miles what the fuck was holding him up so long that he couldn't be here on time. Was he hitting on some girls, smoking dope, skipping class? Miles said he didn't want to talk about it, and the dad was pressuring him no, he wants to know what the fuck was holding him up so long for not wanting to come to the photo shoot on time. And in the midst of that, Miles just works out that he was making out with his boyfriend. The next day, literally when they're all having breakfast, Miles sits down and the dad is telling him to stop making jokes about kissing a boy. And, you know, Frankie was asking Miles, are you gay, bisexual, what are you? And he said, you know, I like Tristan, so why not kiss him, why not do all that couple stuff, and, you know, she asked him, are they a couple, and he said maybe, and, you know, they're joking, going back and forth, and the dad is, like, completely uncomfortable and telling him to stop it, and telling him to, like, just shut up, like, cut it out with the jokes and shit. And the dad gonna tell Miles that you were kissing girls and dating girls a few months ago, and now you're dating boys. It's not right. The mom tried to tell Miles that he's not gay, and he said, never said I was. First of all, how are you going to tell your child what they are? Get the fuck out of here. Like that movie talk about, you're not gay, Miles. Never said I was, but even if I was, who the fuck are you to tell me that I'm not who I am, bitch? I'm going to be who I am to the day I die. What the fuck? Like, Miles' parents were fucking awful. Like, if I could assassinate them motherfuckers, I would within a second. If someone would hire me and let me take the motherfuckers out, I would. They have to be the worst parents I've ever seen, probably in TV show history. Worse than any parent y'all could think of. Worse than Lily from Gossip Girl. Worse than Rufus from Gossip Girl. Worse than Rue's mom in Euphoria. Like, worse. Like, they are just shitty fucking parents. They never know what's going on with any of their children. Not Hunter, not Frankie, not Miles. They never knew what was going on with any of them. Like, it's funny because when I was watching, I think Firestarter Part 1 or Part 2, I looked at the comments when I watched the full episodes on YouTube. A girl left the comment and said, where the fuck was CPS? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, where the fuck was CPS when it came to the Hollingsworth family? Those kids deserved better. They deserve better. And, you know, I think the reason why kids at school didn't really take their pain seriously is because they're rich. They have money and fortune. They're privileged in some ways that other kids are not. So their problems seem small to kids who are not privileged. But it's like, at the end of the day, just because they rich, privileged, or whatever the case might be, that don't mean they deserve to be put through a lot of pain by their father or neglected parents. No child should ever have to go through that. So I agree. Why the fuck was CPS never called? Could have fooled me. But with the dad, I would say this. I don't think it's not right. Because when you say that, it just makes it seem like that you're being a complete, you know, jerk. I would say this is confusing, not right. Because at the end of the day, my kid can kiss whoever the fuck they want to kiss. It's not my relationship. As long as you're happy and that person's treating you right, I'm good. It's all good by me. What I would say is more confusing. You was dating girls, having sex with girls, kissing girls. Now all of a sudden you're kissing, dating, and having sex with guys. It is a tad bit confusing, but not really when you just look at it as, oh, you just like both genders. You like having sex with girls, you like having sex with guys. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But like I said, the only reason why Miles never came out as bisexual is because I think he was still confused, like, you know, still dabbing between is he bisexual or he just likes what he likes. And I feel like at today, it really doesn't matter. If you like what you like, you like what you like. You don't necessarily have to put a label on it, in my opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. Whatever floats your boat. And, you know, talking about, he gonna tell the mom that Miles is not gay. He's just a spoiled brat trying to ruin his campaign, and he's not gonna let him. And Miles told him that it's not always about him in this stupid election. And the dad was like, "Is that what you told your boyfriend?" And Miles said, "Screw this," and got up out of his seat. The dad said, "This is ridiculous. What a joke." And Miles said, "Screw you." And then literally the next day at school, when Zoe and Zig and Maya were going into the classroom, this thing right here pissed me off with Becky. Becky walked up to Zoe and told her, you didn't make the team because me and the girls feel like everything you went through last semester is a lot of baggage to put you on a team. Zoe said, do I have to remind you who is responsible for that? Miss Becky Baker. Becky will say, of course not, but she said she feel like it would just be better if she not be on the team because she's a distraction. That shit pissed me off so bad because it's like Frankie walk around so hard pretending like she's just so pure and such a girl's girl. But girl, if you're such a girl's girl, there's no way in hell you would ever have the courage to sit. She basically, it kind of felt like she kind of victim blaming Zoe a little bit. That, you know, you being the person that you kind of are, you don't deserve to be on the team with girls who don't have baggage, who don't have distractions. And it's like, hold up. What? Like I said, Zoe better than me because I would have punched that bitch on her motherfucking nose. Her whole face would have had to be redestructed, because that face would have been broken. Oh my mama. Ain't nobody ever gonna walk up to me and disrespect me like that, or try to put me down and make me feel like I don't belong somewhere because they don't like what I went through. When your family is the one who put me through that turmoil. The fuck? That's either near or there. The fuck? And then we go to Claire and Allie be in the bathroom. Claire said she needed to go to the hospital and see what's going on with the baby because she is spotting. And Allie goes with her. Well, guess who's in the bathroom to overhear the conversation? Zoe. Zoe was in the bathroom. She was overhearing the conversation. And you know what? She was getting tea. And you know what? With Zoe, I don't blame her. This is probably the only time I would agree with her doing some revenge shit. Because, you know what, Becky, for you to come up to me and tell me that the shit I went through last semester is baggage, bitch, I got something for you. Yo nigga out here getting other bitches pregnant, so that's baggage. It's a distraction, you dumbass hoe. So, at the motherfucking, what the fuck would they call it? I'm gonna call it an assembly, because that's what we used to have when we were in, like, middle school and high school, when they used to have all that special entertainment. They were at the assembly. Miles walked in and tell Tristan that can they skip and get the hell out of here, because when his dad show up, he really don't want to be here and he'd rather just not be here. He grabbed Tristan and was like, let's get out of here. And Tristan said, oh, I guess he wasn't meeting the parents. And it's like, no, you're not meeting the parents. And as a matter of fact, I don't think Tristan ever met Miles' family up until that, I guess you could say, they got the relationship back on track in next class. And if anything, that should set y'all off. If you're dating someone and you never ever meet the parents or meet their mom or their dad, whoever they may be living with, they're not serious about you. Period. Simple as that. If you never ever meet the parents of whoever you're dating, they are not serious about you. Period. Period. I mean, there was a lot of signs that you just should have been paying attention to, but you know what? He didn't pay attention. And you know what? I ain't blaming him, but it's just like, there was a lot of shit that was like out there in the open that he should have paid attention to. That it's like, damn, how long have you and Miles been together? The entire spring break, right? How the fuck have you not met his parents yet? The entire spring break, that's like what, a month and a half to be spending all your time with someone and you never met their parents? Ring, ring, ring. It's giving red flags. Like, what the fuck? I gotta be like Benson from regular show. Ring, ring. Like, the fuck? Like, are you just stupid? Anyway, this reporter lady walked up to Miles to ask him, oh, all the shit the church father has done for school, he must be your hero. Can you tell me what's the last thing your father told you? Miles said, yeah, the last thing my father told me was that being gay is ridiculous. And, you know, Becky and them are all getting ready to do this power chair for the assembly. And, you know, in the midst of that, Zoe tells Becky that, you know, what's it called when your boyfriend gets another girl knocked up? I think it's called baggage. So Zoe look over and she sees Drew and Claire sitting next to each other, and she fucks up the entire power chair routine and break her leg in the process. You know what? I don't blame Zoe, because I would have done the same thing, no lie, because it's like, after what I went through by the hands of your family, it's so crazy for you to walk up to me and tell me that I am a distraction filled with baggage that was created by your brother. Where we doing that at? So as far as I'm concerned, Becky deserved it. I don't give a fuck. She deserved it. With Becky being out injured, Zoe takes her place as the captain of the Panthers, and Vic is so fucking thirsty. Like, this episode, he just was thirsty as fuck. Like, he just was so fucking thirsty. Like, the way he would chase after Zoe, he was thirsty as fuck. And it's kind of crazy because it's like, he paid no attention to Zoe at all up until she got on that cheer team. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Yes, they hung out or whatever and thunderstruck, but they never said what happened to them over the spring break. They never said was they hanging out or getting close. It just looked like once they came back to school that they're picking up where they left off in the finale of the season, of season 13. But in this first episode, he was just so thirsty. Like, the way he was chasing after Zoe, like, talking about, if she will give me a private moment when you in your short mini skirt, or hey, what happened to that short skirt that you promised me, or when she was walking down the hallway with all the cheerleaders, the nigga was just looking at her like, he just looking at her like she a piece of meat. Like, he was thirsty as fuck. Oh, thirsty as fuck. The episode ended with Claire telling Drew that she is not comfortable with going through with the abortion, and she thinks the best thing for her is to keep the baby. And, you know, her and Drew said what they're going to do if they keep a child, and she said she don't know, they're just going to have to figure it out. So, you know what, this wasn't a really bad first episode. Like I said, I actually enjoyed the premiere. So, you know what, I don't really have a whole lot to hate on. Only thing I just don't like, I'm not a fan of this pregnancy storyline. And you know what? Like I said, for the first episode, I'm going to let it slide, because for your first episode for any season, you want to do something to keep the viewers to come back, which is completely understandable. But the pregnancy storyline, I hate it with a I hate it with a passion. Like, if I could, I would strangle the death out of this storyline. Like, strangle it till it couldn't breathe anymore. That is how much I despise this storyline. But as always, it is nice talking to y'all.